Hi everyone, it's StariAri. I'm here to give you guys your weekly transits for this week of January 25th to the 31st. Happy birthday to all the Aquariuses out there. Hopefully you guys are having a good time celebrating your birthdays. So anyway, we're gonna start off with Monday. Gonna be popping in the chart right now. All right, so here's the chart for Monday. So we have the Sun in Aquarius, sextile, Chiron in Aries. So this is going to be a lot of deep healing surrounding the masculine again. But I also feel like it has a lot to do with relationships with others, to include the relationship with ourselves, accepting ourselves for who we are and our beliefs. And also, accepting all parts of ourselves too, to include the masculine within all of us, okay? I also feel like this support and this acceptance will then have a ripple effect onto your other relationships as well as to the collective consciousness at this time, as it is truly necessary and needed since we are transitioning from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, okay? So moving on now, we have Tuesday, January 26th. As you can see, the chart says we have the Sun in Aquarius still, but this time it's going to square Uranus in Taurus. And so to me, this is kind of like a unexpected energy change here, but it is also very liberating, and it might feel ungrounded and chaotic in your life, in particular in your life when it comes to your own sense of security, as well as what you've been working on that doesn't feel like you're progressing in any direction. So this can be linked to like money, your career. Maybe you're stuck in a career that you don't really feel like you're being understood or heard, or even in a leadership role that gives you access to really changing things in that environment for the better. So this is kind of like, that is what I'm picking up for this energy. So stay open to any changes that are coming in for this, especially when it comes to anything that you might feel needs change, but you feel like you might not have a voice or a say in it, okay? Because you are going to have an opportunity due to this energy to step it up or say something, okay? So we also have Mercury and Aquarius, and this is semi-sextile Pluto in Capricorn, okay? And this is kind of like great for, I would say, Pluto excavating any type of shadow work again, revealing anything that is holding us all back from really realizing who our highest potential and who we really are. And then we also have this energy of illumination coming from Aquarius too at the same time. So pay attention to any type of like recurring dreams that you might be having, as well as any type of insight that you might be downloading from meditation or from your guides around you, any messages from your guides. So sequences of numbers, anything like that, pay close attention to that, because there's going to be a lot of revelations through these messages, okay? So moving on, we have Neptune and Pisces squares the true nodes of the moon, and this is forming a T-square between these nodal axes and Pisces, okay? So we also have like this, Neptune, but we also have this shadow energy coming in that is very dogmatic, that is very self-righteous, or in a negative way, not like in a positive way. That is also because of the Sagittarius influence of the South Node in Sagittarius. And it could also feel like, because of this energy, you could also feel like you're interacting with people who feel that they're better than you, or who feel like they're absolutely completely right and you are absolutely completely wrong. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of challenges like that. And then the instant gratification energy that's coming from the Sagittarius South Node is magnified even more, as well as any type of like gimme, let's do things in a big way, extravagant energy here. So be careful with these things. Be careful with wanting to be right and others are completely wrong, or wanting to be just the teacher instead of the student as well, okay? Or the leader instead of the subordinate here as well, okay? We have to make sure that we're balancing these energies. It is cool to be curious and understand other people's perspective with this energy too, because it'll allow you to do this. And it'll allow you to actually look at things as with curiosity, just like with the Gemini influence of the North Node here. It allows you to connect the lower mind to the higher mind here. It also allows you to really take action, but in a way that you are doing it because you have finally found out the truth, okay? So anything that is going on within your life that has been hidden is definitely going to be revealed. But don't be so, I would say, so self-righteous that you are going to isolate or even terminate relationships with other people just because you found out something that you technically intuitively knew all along, okay? This is all about being honest, but also really meeting people halfway and working through your problems together, okay? So moving on. Now we're moving on to Wednesday. So here's a chart for Wednesday. All right, so we have Venus in Capricorn squaring Aries and Aries. So there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be chaotic energy with this in particular. The Venus Aries can be very activating, very active energy. Like I would say it's going to conjoin eventually with Pluto, and it's going to trigger a Pluto Aries square once more. So a lot of things are going to be revealed when it comes to relationships, your finances, your career, the job that you're in, anything that is in a traditional sense, stabilizing based on what we are used to, or based on what our society tells us is normal, okay? So that's going to be what is going to be revealed and removed or messed with here. But all in all, it's a good change, because these social constructs, they're not working for everyone. And that's what this energy is all about, is about terminating the things that don't work for all, and allowing things that do work for everyone to grow better, okay? It's just kind of like what the thing with the tree, right? Like think of a society as a huge tree, and then around it are saplings, right? Where little trees around this huge tree trying to grow, but because they're in the shadow of this huge tree, they're not allowed to grow. So just think about it that way. The huge tree represents everything that has been established for hundreds and hundreds of years in our society that we think are normal things, right? And then the little saplings are the new ideas and innovations coming in from the age of Aquarius that we have to tend to, and we have to allow them to grow, okay? Give them an opportunity to grow so we can test them out and see if they truly do work for everyone, okay? So that's what I feel this energy is definitely bringing to the light, what needs to be detox and let go of, and what needs to have an opportunity to grow, and so we can learn from it, okay? So moving on, we have Thursday, January 28th. For this one, we have Venus conjoins Pluto at 25 degrees Capricorn, and this one's kind of like a very potent conjunction here. This can amplify sexuality, a need for intimacy, passion, and it could also bring on, you know, the shadow that comes with it, which is obsession, manipulation, possessiveness, jealousy, you know, power and control, dynamics within a relationship, like who is the alpha in the relationship and who is the beta, right? Like that type of power control struggles here. But Venus is triggering the Pluto Aries square, and this started from yesterday, you know, or from Wednesday. And it's important for us to really pay attention to what is stagnant, what we are stuck in when it comes to relationships that we perceive as being intimate. Not necessarily just a physical relationship. It could be a friendship that's intimate, meaning that you guys know each other's secrets and things like that. And you know, emotional states, things like that. That's what intimacy usually means, okay? Emotional depth and how close you are to someone emotionally too, okay? So pay attention to that. Pay attention to the shadows that come up. Anything that's toxic in a relationship, anything that is, again, a power struggle between masculine and feminine aspects within yourself and then within your partner. Anything that you are resisting, especially when it comes to relationships with growth in mind, okay? Like if you are resisting growth in your relationship, meaning that you're just there going with the flow and you don't have a plan of action, whether or not you're gonna make this an official relationship or whether or not you guys have a future together, meaning like, you know, I don't know, having a contract of living and growing older together, things like that. So not necessarily just marriage, but you know, being in a partnership, okay? Looking at that, do you have a plan? Or do you just want to have fun? You know, things like that will come up in the relationship. Or are you resisting growth in the way that you are seeing that your partner is struggling, but yet you still remain there doing everything for them, and they're not learning how to grow without you, or things like that. So things like that have to be viewed in a relationship dynamic, okay? And it's very important for this relationship to grow by, you know, through honesty, through love, through value, through self-worth, for both people involved, okay? So even with a friendship, okay? So moving on, we have the full moon in Leo coming in on Thursday, and it's gonna be exact at 11 a.m. in the morning, and this is Pacific Standard Time, so that will be like 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, okay? So this lunar cycle is going to be very intense because we started the lunar cycle of this year with the new moon in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto and square Aries, and this was back on the 12th of January. So this moon is going to eliminate a lot of the energy of duality that's between focus of the self and focus of the community here, okay? There is going to be an ego, I would say ego tug of war here when it comes to your ego and that of what the collective needs, so societal collective, I would say. So Leo is the sign of the sun, represents the sun, and then it does lead to I would say a lot of grand things, you know, a lot of like good things, leadership, you know, being on the throne and assisting others, things like that. But it could also have a shadow side because of its ego. So I would say those who have Leo placements in their chart somewhere, or who are lacking them, like me, I don't have any Leo placements, I lack that, need to really understand what this energy is supporting or what it's lacking or what it's taking away, okay? And if you're focusing a lot on your ego, you need to see where this is coming from in the Leo perspective. What is it like? What's the shadow of Leo? The shadow of Leo is insecurity, of not being understood, or feeling like people are jealous, insecurity of not being good enough, or feeling like you're not going to be accepted, because Leos love to be accepted and understood, you know, in group dynamics as well as within their families. Okay, so it could also be narcissism, egotism, you know, idealism when it comes to relationships. It could also be cultural idealism, religious idealisms, you know, things like that. So this is very important for us to understand, the shadow side of Leo. I mean, they bring a lot of good. Of course, the moon is going to bring a lot of good. But again, where you're at this time will be the reasons why the moon is either going to help you, or it's either going to like assist you in a good way, where you boost yourself up and become that leader that you've always wanted to be, or where you have to do shadow work, okay, in those aspects of what Leo actually represents. Okay, so moving on, we have the sun conjoins Jupiter in Aquarius, and this is going to be very optimistic energy. I said the Sun Jupiter can be very positive, optimistic, and expansive energy here, okay, because we have Sag and Aquarius energy behind us. We are also embracing new changes and possibilities for changes, as well as, you know, involving our community's activisms and collective consciousness here for social justice, things like that, in a very supportive way, not in a very like, I would say, like isolating way. Okay, so this is different. Okay, so there's like, you know, there is a very true war on psychology here, on the psychology of the collective here with words, and so it's very important for us to really pay attention to the key terms that people use that are in power, that are used to manipulate us and manipulate our emotions, especially because there are things that we believe in wholeheartedly that need to be reformed, or need to be you know, worked through wholeheartedly, and then those in power, they manipulate us through using our trigger words, through using our idealism against us. So be very careful with that, okay? But this energy will help you see past the shadows that they're throwing at us, okay? So moving on, we have Friday, January 29th here. So we have Mars conjoins mean black moon Lilith in Taurus, okay? So this is Mars and Lilith energy. It's kind of like a activating of the real fast approaching Saturn and Uranus square coming in on the 17th of February. Yeah, the 17th. Looking at my top, like what? So it's coming on the 17th of February, and so this is going to trigger, the Mars is going to trigger the Saturn Uranus from, I would say already triggered it from the 13th to 20th. Lilith has triggered on the 22nd itself, the energy has. So Jupiter has also been triggered with Saturn and Uranus from the 21st of December to the 17th of January. So it's all about, like, I would say big moves here, big changes mid-February coming in with these triggering aspects. So Mars and Lilith can be great for taking action. You know, taking your power back, understanding power dynamics in society, in our government, and even looking at the control issues that we have within our society, like who's on top and why do they want control of us, and how do they manipulate us to believe that they should be the leaders that we chose when we probably didn't choose them. So looking at that, looking at manipulation tactics that our government uses against us, very, very important, okay? So let's see what else. Okay, so this is definitely activating a deep dark shadow. Okay, remember the words, and I'm not sure if you guys follow politics. I wouldn't recommend that you do all the time, but I kind of do here and there, because when I'm guided to only. When my guides say, hey, look at this video real quick and listen to the words that they're using, because these words are manipulation tactics that they use to trigger emotions within you, and then you either believe them or you don't. Okay, so our newest president, Mr. Biden, he uses trigger words all the time. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of them do, okay? A lot of politics use trigger words all the freaking time. The particular one that my guides told me to listen to the most is the, this is gonna be a dark winter, okay? To me, that's some fucked up shit. Like, that's manipulating you into feeling fear, right? If you watch that, or if you haven't, I would definitely recommend to bring in your guides first, okay? Bring in your guides, and then allow them to reveal to you the truth behind his words, okay? Because intuitively speaking, you'll understand what I'm talking about, okay? So he uses this phrase, a dark winter. To me, right away, like that, it's a fear-based limiting belief, where he is using this tactic to manipulate people into fear, into fearing the worst, into scrambling, into going into that mindset of having to survive. So the survival tactics here are being used against us. So that being said, this manipulation information, or these shadows, are going to come in even more for Friday with this aspect here with Mars and Lilith coming in, okay? So important for us to really resolve, really look deep into the programming within ourselves, whether we believe it or not, what these people are saying, and really resolve these issues within us, so that we could free ourselves and free our minds from their programming, okay? So very, very important for us, because this is very much about really seeing the truth from a higher perspective, and why these people still exist in our reality. Why do we still need these types of leaders telling us these bullshit stories of manipulation and things like that, of fear-based limiting beliefs, right? Why do we still have them, in that position to begin with, right? Are we lacking in leadership skills ourselves? Are we thinking, we're not going to survive without them? What's going on here? So that's what this is really going to trigger too, okay? And it also, another shadow aspect would be impatience, resistance to change, addiction. Anything that comes up from entitlement as well. So be very careful with this conjunction, because we also have Mars Lilith conjunct, due to Mars retrograde this happened back in September on the 22nd, I would say. So this is going to happen again later this month, with this time in Taurus. So that's where the shadow of laziness and entitlement, addiction to sensual pleasures and things like that, or overeating, is going to come from too, or hoarding, okay, and resistance to change, like I said before. So be aware of this shadow too, okay? Shadows are all over the place right now, and they are necessary for us to evolve through, okay? So moving on, we have Mercury and Aquarius, semi-sextile Venus and Capricorn. And this is gonna be kind of like the energy, I feel like Mercury and Venus are in both in Saturn ruled signs. So remember, Aquarius used to be ruled by Saturn back in the day, okay? That's what I'm talking about. If you guys are like, what other sign is ruled by Saturn? It's Aquarius. So this is going to be kind of like supporting a need for us to speak through our heart space, to really connect with others in that manner, okay, through compassion, through love, okay, through kindness, okay. Mercury in Aquarius is very forward thinking, and Venus in Capricorn is super committed, super responsible and hardworking, especially when it comes to relationships with others. Anything that they're establishing as a foundation to build their empire from as well, okay. So it's important to find balance between your old belief systems and the new stuff that is coming in, that it might change your old beliefs into new beliefs, okay? Because this is kind of like evidence-based here, right? So it's important for us to balance that, okay? Not to completely, throw away, that aspect of ourselves. It's to understand why we had that belief to begin with here, okay? And then move forward in understanding and being more open-minded when it comes to changes in our belief system, okay? So not shutting down when evidence is presented to us that we might have been wrong, okay? So that's important for this energy too, okay? So moving on, we're still on Friday. All of this is happening on Friday, you guys. So Uranus and Taurus is semi-square Ceres in Pisces, and to me this is kind of like a lot of things that are kind of come up with family. I feel like it's like a parent-child, especially mother and children type of situations here. So if you have a problem with your mom, which a lot of us do, at some point in our lives, we probably had a rebellious streak for some reason or another, but it's time for you to mend these wounds, okay? It's time for you to have a conversation with your moms if you do have them presently in your life. If you don't have them presently in your life, you could always do therapeutic release through your own self-therapies, such as writing your mother a letter, and then, doing ceremony with that, maybe inviting her higher self to listen to you, to the words that you want to speak to her, that you've been holding back, and actually what you need from her, so that you can help, so she can help you heal, okay? So that can be something that you can do. I know there's a lot of people who have a situation with their moms where they just can't talk to them because either they're not in their life or they're just very afraid of speaking to them because all they do is shut them down. Or they point the finger and become the victim or something, so whatever's going on, this is a perfect time for you to really heal these aspects of yourself, okay, with your mom, okay? Also feel like this centers around security, around love, around any type of issues that arise regarding safety, neglect, and not feeling loved and not feeling wanted by your mother, okay? So very, very important for you to do this work with this energy, especially calling in that beautiful Ceres and Pisces energy, which is technically the sacrificial mom, but seeing things through the eyes of your mom too. So seeing the broader scope of a situation, not just how they made you feel, okay? Very, very important to, I guess you could say, be empathic and put yourself in their shoes too. Okay, where are they coming from? How did they learn these things? And why did they treat you the way that they did? Okay, very important for you to tune in on that too, okay? All right, so next one we have is Saturday, January 30th. And happy birthday to my love, my fiance. It's his birthday on the 30th. It's funny, we both were born on the 30th of a month. I was November 30th and he's January 30th. So anyway, Mercury stations retrograde in Aquarius, okay? So we have Mercury retrograde, and this time is all about review, revision, and rethinking. And in Aquarius, we're focusing on inventions, innovation, progression in a scientific way, okay? Especially for the collective. So for all involved, like what are we looking at with innovations and new technologies, things like that? What's going on? How is this going to benefit everyone in society, not just the 1%? Okay, so this is going to also be a time to go over any past situations when it comes to friendships, when it comes to our community. I feel like this has a lot to do with community, in particular with your own culture. What's the culture right now with your own race, with your own background here? Like, are you mixed race? Are you from a different country? Do you have a different belief system? Things like that. I feel like it has to do with that. I also feel like it's going to be a good opportunity to heal those aspects of yourself. Like, for example, for those who are mestizos or Hispanics who are mixed with Native and European, there seems to be a very direct hatred for a aspect of yourself, which would be the European side of yourself, especially right now where there's so much hatred against white people as well as European born people. Okay, I feel like there's a need for you guys to heal this, especially in the Hispanic community, as well as accepting that side of you or who you are. You're a mestizo, you're a mixed race. There's no denying it. I'm sorry, you can't deny it. Like, you are mixed. Okay, that's just how it is. Now it's time for you to accept yourself and accept your lineage, and heal that lineage, to heal that aspect of you that doesn't accept yourself fully. Okay, the same can be applied to other mixed races out there, because everybody is mixed. Like, there's no pure blooded race out there. Come on, let's be honest here. And so anyway, time for you to look into your heritage. If you don't know what you're mixed with, I do recommend that you try to look at genetic, information. I don't know if, to me, I've never tried any of those really popular genetic things, because it's not really 100%. It's like 50% accurate or something like that. I personally did genome through National Geographic, but the program doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so I don't know, whatever your gut tells you to go towards that. Okay, but looking at your heritage, looking at your lineage, looking at their suffering, looking at what transpired in that, cluster of your family, of your community, of your race, of your culture itself, and looking at how you perceive your own self. Either you're separating yourself from some of your aspects of your heritage, or you're completely engulfed in it. Whatever it is that needs to be healed in that sense of the word, it's very important for you to heal this. Okay, because this is how we actually understand the world, as well as understand other people. Okay, so another thing that you're going to find that this retrograde is going to be highlighting is your hopes and your dreams. That too, a motivation for the future too. If you know your lineage, if you know where you come from, in so many ways it can assist you in really building a future, from that. From where do you want to come from, who do you want to support in your community, things like that. There's a lot of people who want to assist their community, do better, heal their wounds and things like that, and that's a beautiful thing. But you also have to know where they come from too, like what have they been taught, when they were kids, how were they raised? Because families are raised differently. Families are either going to support who they are completely, or they're gonna hate who they are. Okay, whatever's going on in that sense of the scope of things with your community, with your society and things like that, that's what needs to be highlighted too, because that's how we know where to direct our efforts, okay, and how to build our future. All right, so moving on, for Sunday we have January 31st. There's not much going on here, but the moon is in Virgo. And so this is helping us focus on our health and our well-being, especially our mental health, and our physical health, okay? There is always going to be a tie between physical health and mental health, as well as emotional health, okay? There's no separation here. Everything is tied together. And this, Moon in Virgo can assist you in really focusing on balancing all of these aspects, our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual aspects, because they're all necessary, and that is who we are as a whole being, all of these energies, okay? So focus on that, focus on being present, paying attention to detail, being organized and efficient, especially when it comes to organizing your time. But just watch out for any type of over analyzing things that you don't get things done. Okay, that is super important, because that's a very Virgo trait right there, where they overthink things and yet they don't do anything about them because they're too busy thinking and organizing thoughts in their head. Okay, so very, very, very important for us to be mindful of that, okay, for Sunday. So that's all I have for you guys for the trans. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got for the major arcana energy for the week. Okay, this is coming up. Ooh, the wheel of fortune. All right, so here we go. So this is kind of like the wheel of the year. So there's different elements here. You got fire, you got air, water, earth here, okay? So this means that the wheel can spin in whatever direction that you set your mind towards, okay? So whatever you're placing energy onto, as well as emphasis onto, the wheel is going to spin towards that direction and stop where you dictate, okay? So that means if you're emphasizing on having lack, like meaning that you're lacking things in your life, you're lacking love, you're lacking money, you're lacking success, you're lacking abundance, you're lacking motivation, you're lacking, inspiration, things like that. That's where the wheel focuses on the lack, okay? And it's going to bring you more lack. If you're focusing on success, on having abundance, of being in gratitude, of like knowing that you will soon, have a change of luck in your life, and focusing on that, on optimism instead of pessimism, then the wheel spins towards that direction and gives you more of that, okay? It gives you little insights and little, thank yous for believing in your higher self and guidance, because that's very important for this week in particular. Whatever you focus on, that's where the wheel spins, okay, when it comes to your luck, okay? So it's very, very important for you to have a positive mindset here, especially when it comes to what you want to change in your life, okay? It might feel like you're constantly, pushing boulders up a fucking mountain, right? But it's gonna be well worth it in the end, okay? So just remember that everything that you're doing for yourself is gonna definitely push you towards the direction that you want to, and towards the people that you want to be around, okay? So that being said, let's look at what we have for supportive energy for, I'm gonna pull 3 cards. One's gonna be for Monday, Tuesday, another's gonna be for Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay? So here we go. Okay, here we go. That is upside down Monday through Tuesday. Okay, right side up Wednesday, Thursday, and 10 of water. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of difficulty when it comes to I would say our support and stability here, because the 9 of earth is all about like the future plans that you have, or what you really want to bring in for your future goals, and you might feel like you're stumped or you're stuck in the planning phase still. Maybe there's something that fell through. Maybe there is someone that you had assisting you with planning or taking something like a goal and making it happen or things like that, and it fell through. Maybe you're being slowed down in so many ways so that you could think things through and be more thorough with your planning here, okay? I feel like it's definitely a time for you to really think things through and slow down and let the universe assist you, okay? Yes, this is a bump in the road, but that means it's because you might be going too fast. You know, maybe you were rushing things, and maybe you found help with someone that wasn't really there to assist you, but to assist themselves, okay? So at least you caught it before it went too far, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of like that warning from the universe. Hey, slow down, all right? Don't be too desperate, you know, because when you bring in that energy of desperation, then you bring in you know, people who will be trying to take advantage of that, okay? So this is what we have for Monday and Tuesday. Next, we have the Two of Earths for Wednesday and Thursday. So when you're done doing this, and when you finally listen to your guidance and you feel like you're up for it, then you move on to the Two of Earth here. So this is kind of like about balancing, you know, what you really want and desire with what is practical at this time. I feel like a lot of the things that were motivating you to move forward with whatever is going on here were out of I would say a mindset of wanting to be first, competitive mindset of something like that was driving you towards a goal, even though you didn't really have the passion for it, or you didn't really have the love for it, okay? And so that Two of Earth is telling you, all right, okay, time for you to really resolve what's going on internally and really look at things thoroughly so that you can take a better approach to what needs to be chosen at this time, okay? Consider all of your options, to include people in your life who were kind of like telling you, hey man, I don't think that's a good idea, all right? So be very mindful of this, okay? Be very mindful of what truly it is that your heart desires over what your ego desires, okay? That's what I feel this energy is definitely placing in your path, okay? So moving on for the weekend, we have the Ten of Water. So this is where we're headed, okay? When you really analyze all of this, when you really focus on doing things for a good cause, meaning for the cause of your heart, not the cause of your ego, then you move into the Ten of Water. So the Ten of Water is the Ten of Cups. So this is kind of like the rewarding life that you truly desire, with love, with abundance, prosperity, stability, family. You know, the future that you really desire is definitely going to be attained as soon as you rethink these things, okay? So that's what I have for you guys for this week. So it's all about planning, all about slowing down and really taking notice of where the direction that you're going towards. Is it going to be because you're doing it through selfish means, or is it selfless means, okay? So that's all I have. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.